with the unfortunate news that Jason Inman and the amazing Mark Knopik will no longer be competing in the Innergeekdom division for the time being, two players that, ironically enough, I got to see play head-to-head at the Schmoedown Live event September 8th. That wonderful, beautiful shirt right here. And Jason Justice Inman, amazing Mark Knopik. Memories. Well, such a shame. So with that unfortunate news that they will not be back for the foreseeable future, it kind of means that the Innergeekdom division is a little bit thin on top. So we need some new blood. We need some new players in the Innergeekdom division. Enter these two new players that are going to take part today. We have Kevin Smets, not Kevin Smith, Kevin Smets, and we have David Moore. I'm actually not too familiar with either of these players. I am familiar with one another way, and I'm familiar with the other person due to another person, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, Kevin Smith, not Kevin Smith, not Kevin Smith's got Kevin Smith's. That's a mouthful. And David Moore. They're going to get it on today on JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. And welcome back. Okay, so Kevin Smets. I'm not even doing it intentionally at this point. It just comes so naturally. Kevin Smets against David Moore. As I said in the beginning, I'm not too familiar with either player. Kevin Smets, I remember his name floating around when the fan league started. I remember seeing his name in the fan group, fan league pages, but I've actually never seen him play. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares here. David Moore, I'm not actually familiar with David Moore. I am, however, familiar with his dad, Phil Moore. People my age would probably remember Phil Moore when we were kids from a little game show on Nickelodeon called Nick Arcade. It was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid, game show wise. It was Legends of the Hidden Temple, Wild and Crazy Kids, and Nick Arcade. They were my three favorite game shows growing up. And I would watch them all the time, watch them religiously. So Phil Moore was a person that was very regularly on my television growing up. So David Moore, I knew that he was, a movie-oriented person. Obviously, we know where he got that from. Mama, obviously. LOL. So I'm not entirely sure how he'll fare in terms of the trivia stuff. Kevin Smets, coming from the fan leagues, coming in. Obviously, if you're coming in the fan leagues, that means two things. It means if you're playing in the Schmoedown now, you're obviously good enough to compete. And if you're coming from the fan leagues, you obviously have to be a bad guy. And looking at the profile picture, it looks like we're getting both. Just come on now. If only I played. I'm so not evil. I'm like Queen Whenever Wannabe. Maybe I'll just start breakdancing and start singing the song. So I guess yet again, because it's a fan league player, if you're good enough just to get into the big time, you're obviously probably good enough to be able to compete on a big scale. So because of that, I guess, sorry, David Moore, son of Phil Moore, great, host that I, looked up to growing up. No offense, but I'm going to give this to the Kevin Smets dude. Sorry, Kevin Smets, for just calling you a dude. We'll find out how much of a dude you are. So without further ado, let's do this in 3, 2, and 1.
I have a huge announcement.
A huge announcement.
To celebrate the first ever Schmoedown Throwdown and the community that
yes.
watches and supports the Schmoedown.
It's going to be something pretty special. We're making an exclusive Schmoedown Throwdown print. We're going to print the name of everyone in the fan base on this debut merch item. What do they got to do, Christian?
All you have to do, you got to pledge $2.
$2.
That's it, and you're going to have your name included in this collector merch item. We're so thankful every single one of you who support the Schmoedown and make this league a reality.
Yeah, we're pretty pumped to have the names of everyone in the community on this print. There's only a few days left to sign up, so head over to our Patreon page right now to sign up and have your name included in the print. It's just $2.
It's
Can
$2.
I-
$2.
It's an exclusive Brian Ward. I mean, the guy is the best artist ever.
I borrow
Yes, he is.
$2.
I've got a couple of his shirt
$2.
designs.
You're not answering.
No.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Emma.
How's it going? Good,
no.
good.
Hello, you.
You've done with the place.
Yeah, done is not the word I would use for what's happening here right now.
Nor would I. Look, I know we've talked about this briefly, but I do need you to actually sign my manager paperwork. So I just need your initials at the bottom, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Listen, Grace. You've caused a little trouble in the Schmoedown in the past. You
Little.
kind of stabbed me in the back, but
Kinda.
I am trusting that you have turned over a new leaf. Much as I am making every attempt to be a neutral party and not have biases, I believe that you are also not going to cause trouble this time around. So
Of course not. Of course not. Look, you know it's all just part of the fun of the game. You can't take it personally. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
it's not really.
Oh, it's that simple.
Anyway.
I'm just a
Alright,
character playing a character playing another character.
Officially sanctioned to be a manager.
Perfect. I will be on my best behavior.
Right? I look forward to seeing who you're managing.
Yeah, I'm excited to show everybody. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Girl Scout.
And you're the devil. Whoosh. Yes, perfect. I've timed them all perfectly now. Kevin Smets looks so evil. Hello everybody. Hello Mark. Hello Christian. The gang's all here. I'm being whatever I wanna be. I never trick people into trusting me. Hide my true personality and use it to accomplish my evil deed.
At the moment, the champion is Mike Kalinowski defending that championship in a little bit on the 23rd, and we don't have Jason Inman anymore. Rachel Cushing is still causing havoc. We know that. We know we have Adam Lavick out there. Mara Konopik has stepped down. We have an open field, and new competitors are showing up, and we have two of those new rookies hitting the stage tonight.
It's like an intense game of Quidditch, Christian. That is from Lord of the Rings.
Quidditch? I love Lord of the Rings.
Mistaken on that one,
Right.
but David Moore coming into this. So David Moore, he comes from a long line of great host performers, but he's not about House Moore today. He's about the name on the front of the
I think
jersey.
Mark knows
This
who
is David's
he's
first
talking
time
about and
under
who
the
I was
White House
referring to.
spotlight. And then you look at who he's going up against. Kevin Smets. Step right up and greet the Smets. Kevin looks ready to play.
My pick last year was Ethan Irwin. This year, my pick is Kevin the Smasher Smets. And Kevin Smets was a guy, he auditioned on the Patreon tier. He auditioned, and to be honest with you, at the time, he wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready to go, but you might be. Check out the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon today.
I like what you did there. But what
What
I
a
said,
plug.
I suggested to Kevin, I said, listen, why don't you go? There are so many great fan leagues out there. There's Full Metal Trivia. There's all these different trivia leagues out there. Look at what happened with Chance Ellison. Look at Paul Oyama. You can build up and get here by doing that, and he did just that, and he dominated in the Innergeekdom division in the fan leagues, and now he got himself back a shot at the pros.
That's right. Talking about Moore and Smets before.
He looks so much
they were
non-evil
both in
there.
a lather, sweaty, ready to go, and I mean that literally. These guys are sweating. They're foaming at the mouth. Let's take a look at their pre-interviews.
It's your boy David coming through for the first time in the Innergeekdom Schmoedown.
All right, let's just get one thing out of the way, shall we? We didn't come here to win championship belts, okay? What we came here to do is go through this league, starting at the bottom and cleaning house till we get all the way to the top. And you can bet on that.
And win
Now,
championship belts.
Schmoedown fans, you cool people out there, I know you don't know who I am. I am a nerd since the day I was born. I hope that you all accept me. And even if you don't, it's all good, it's all love. I'm still gonna win it.
This kid is a trained killer, right? While the rest of this league is spending their weekends sitting on a bar stool, guzzling beer in some 2-bit dive bar. You wanna know what Kevin Smets is doing? He's sitting in the trivia dungeon training, watching movies like 2003's Daredevil, the one with Ben Affleck. And you wanna know why? 'Cause he likes pain.
Kevin Smets, he seems like he might know a thing or two. He's come through the fan leagues, he's got his training, he's got his background. But again, bigger they come, the harder they fall.
Let me take you back 10 months. I get an audition, right? On Patreon. Christian, he says, you know what? You're not ready for the cut. Every second since April, for 10 months, I have been thinking about coming back here to show you that you made a mistake. When I'm done, when all of the bodies are down and I'm standing in the ashes, then Harloff, you'll remember my name and I'll take that title and you'll remember Kevin Smets, the one you sent away who came back and took everything. David Moore, you know what you're gonna need today? More help.
It's David Moore. I'm here to win it. Let's go.
Get ready, Geekdom. Here we come.
All right, so
So,
it looks like
everything I found out
don't
that Kevin
know
Smets wants to
who
do.
This Kaiser is. And
Murder
with him, he's
people,
got this manager
turn them
Kaiser
to
who seems to be
ash,
talking a lot of smack, and the
and
attitude of
not
the Kevin
win
Smets that
championship
I saw
belts.
was not the same guy I saw in that interview. This seems to be a different, a
Hey,
very different Kevin Smets. He
Whitney!
seems to
We're
have a little
finally
bit of
getting
edge and an attitude. I don't know if
Whitney's
that's going to work. I've seen it work for some people. I've seen it fail miserably. David Moore, on the other hand, nice, respectable kid. I like it. I like the fact that he's here. He wants to play, and he wants to do good things. For me, that's the way I would enter a new place. I'd have respect for people when they're coming
Shake some
in.
hands, look you in the eye. This Smets guy, he may be more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
Nice, I like what you did there. But
Ah.
right now, we don't know the strengths. We don't know the weaknesses.
We don't know anything about these humans.
All we know is that we have two competitors trying to make a name for themselves. Are you ready to go?
I am prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Notable accomplishments. Y'all don't have none.
Introducing first, making his Schmoedown Innergeekdom debut. Give it up for David Moore.
Feeling the groove. He's one of these competitors. I get the sense he's feeding off the energy of the crowd.
Yeah, he is. Look at him. I like the personality on Moore.
Wow, there you go.
David, the Dance Man Moore. You're the Dance Man.
A lot of personality from the
D
kid. I like it.
Dance Man. DM. You're the Dance Man.
I like it. So that's
We
a
got the
way to
Mance
call it
Man.
your first
Now we got
entrance.
the Dance Man.
And his opponent,
I'm so clever.
making his Schmoedown Innergeekdom debut. He is Kevin the Smasher Smets. That's Kaiser.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
there's
Kaiser.
Smets.
And then here comes Smets.
And look at Kaiser.
Angry look on his face.
Yeah, Kaiser rock Beastie Boys.
Kaiser looks like your friend Winkleman.
Yeah, he does.
And
Kaiser
then here
eyeing me
comes
for some reason. I don't know
Smets
why.
staring right into the camera, not sure.
Yeah,
he's
mean
getting
mug.
off from the. It's almost like he's angered that he's getting applause.
Craft service.
Angry.
Well, you should have been here
He's
for the pizza.
Okay.
You should have been here for pizza.
Trash talk.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, he's not shaking his hand.
More extended his hand.
More trying to be a nice guy.
The Smasher did
Ah,
not
so
take it.
He
evil.
did not. So
And
Moore
that's
trying to
so
extend a handshake and a smile.
not
It hurts a little
me.
bit. It's Black History Month and everything. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And Moore throwing it. Look, Moore already with the personality. I like this kid. And Smets is just mean mugging and ready to rock.
Everybody in these fans.
Number one
Give
guy.
us fans a bad name, why
This
don't
is the
you?
Innergeekdom division. 10
I never
questions will be
cheat, I
asked.
never
To
bribe,
review,
and I
as
never
soon as you
scheme,
hear
and I
a
never
question,
lie, and that
please
wasn't a
write down
lie
your
that I
best
said
attempted
just
and
now
answer
that I
on the
never lie,
whiteboard
because I
with the
never
very
lie, and I
clear, so
never laugh
kindly
when
provide
children
it
cry,
for
and I
you.
never
As
poison
soon as you
enemies
hear
of
the question,
mine.
You got about 15 seconds to write down your best attempted and answer.
Tiffany Haddish, you could
Questions worth
say.
1 point.
I
There's
gotta
no
tell you
penalty for
that.
missing a question. There's no stealing in round number 1. Each competitor, throughout the duration of the match, 3 rounds, you have 3 usages of the JTE rule. If you're not sure you heard a question right, or you just want to buy yourself some time, use the
'Cause you're a
JTE rule. You
star.
also each have 1 challenge to be used at any point throughout the duration of the match.
All right, so with that, Smets, are you ready?
Ready.
Moore, are you ready?
Let's do this.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Yay!
Good crowd here for this
Good
rookie
crowd.
match.
Smets versus Moore, battle of the rookie IG competitors. Here we go. Gentlemen, in the category of the MCU.
Marvel Cinematic Universe, guys.
Thanks,
MCU,
Mark.
if you can abbreviate. Here we go. In 2012's Avengers, Tony Stark says that Agent Coulson's first name is Agent. What is his real first name?
I have a real dumb question to ask. Potentially, is the movie called Avengers or The Avengers?
5, 4.
It's Marvel's The Avengers.
2. I avoided it. 1.
It's Phil.
Smets.
Phil.
Yes, it is. Dave.
Tis the name of my father, Phil.
Yes, it is. 1-1.
Phil Moore, great host. Nick Arcade. I almost made it there.
Yes.
I was good at Sega Genesis games, not so much Super Nintendo. Your next
I never. I had Sega. Never had Super Nintendo.
This is Middle Earth, and the question is, which actress plays Arwen in the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Who?
Yeah, you ever watch that Nick Arcade? God,
Yes.
great show.
No, I don't know.
Nick Arcade.
Is that a reference?
You ever see the movie The Wizard?
Fred Savage?
People talked about Legends of the Hidden Temple being so tough. That was even harder.
I am blanking. I know it's. Oh, I know it now.
Kevin Smith?
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler's
It was
correct.
Liv Tyler.
Oh,
Don't miss
that person.
You missed that question.
Don't forget about your JTE rules, ladies and gentlemen. JTE rules on the table, 3 apiece.
Right, you can always ask for more time.
Third one.
A more joke.
In Star Wars A New Hope, Obi-Wan said that Jedi were guardians of the galaxy for how many generations?
I believe the quote is over this amount.
Well,
Yeah, for over.
well, I didn't write
And
it.
my marker's starting to go bad. Good thing I got a reserve.
I want to get right by you.
2.
For over 1,000
1.
generations.
Smets.
Over 1,000 generations.
Correct. Dave.
The Jedi were guardians of peace in the galaxy.
That's correct. I like
They
it.
both wrote over. I was right.
Go on,
Keep the gotcha on that
I
one.
like it. 3-2. 3-2. Good start here for
Got to
the
change
Rooks.
markers. We're going
All
from
right, this
black to
is
red.
the world of the DCEU. That stands for the DC, whatever the hell they're calling it now. Your question is, in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, when Diana receives Lex's metahuman files from Bruce, whose archived video footage does she watch first?
It's a good question.
Yeah, she sees a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Who does she see
First.
first?
It's really a crapshoot, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it
For me,
limits the pool a
5,
little bit.
4, 3, 2,
The Flash.
1. Dave.
The Flash?
Correct.
Yeah.
And Kevin.
The Flash.
Got it.
Tried to write the
Okay.
Flash symbol, and that just looks like the Samus Metroid
So it's
symbol.
4-3.
I
Next
tried.
question.
Kevin also putting the logo of the Los Angeles Chargers in his answer.
Ah!
San Diego. DC movies. Just the DC, not the EU.
It's all about the effort.
Yeah.
We don't know sports. We're nerds.
That's right. In the
I know
Lego
lots of both.
Batman movie, where do Batman and Robin steal the Phantom Zone projector from?
That's a good. Now that's a good question.
Lego Batman. Your favorite Lego movie? Do you still go with the first Lego movie? We both like
Yeah,
the second.
Lego Movie
about
2 was
5.
great
You
too.
watch that review on this channel
4, 3,
right now.
2, 1.
Fortress of
Pens down,
Solitude.
please. And Kevin.
Fortress of Solitude.
Yes, it is. Dave.
The Fortress of Solitude.
5-4.
Hey, Suits. You know I could totally take you down.
White hot spotlight, not intimidating in the league. Either
Great
competitor.
joke.
Your next category comes from the world of heroes and villains. Looks like we have both represented up there. Your question is, what actor played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen?
Well, the actors were what got Dave last time. Can he hit this one? Because Kevin seems to have gotten it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dave.
I think that was Jim Caviezel.
Incorrect. Kevin.
Billy Crudup.
That's correct.
It was Billy Crudup.
Actors' names seem to be hurting Dave more.
That's right.
Same with me.
I'll point out that right now the Smasher has a perfect round 1 so far. Should he get a perfect round at the end of the 10 questions, he will be asked a bonus one just to him.
Right. All right, here we go. Next one is from Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Who gives Harry the Marauders map in The Prisoner of Azkaban? Smets writing down furiously again.
Can you still think of the movies individually? They all run together for me.
Yes, only because I've watched them so recently.
Oh, you did a rewatch
Yeah.
with the
Kids.
family?
4,
Yeah.
3.
Forgot you had that.
Thank you. 2.
Let's go with Ron
1.
Weasley.
Pens down, please. Kevin Smets.
George and Fred, the Weasley twins.
That's correct. And Dave.
I was attempting Weasley, but I didn't even
have it.
get
So
it out
Smets
there.
starting to go a little bit ahead here. 7-4. 7-4.
All right, still the perfect round.
Yeah.
All right, your next question in the world of Star Trek. Star Trek. And your question is, Sir Patrick Stewart has played Jean-Luc Picard in how many Star Trek feature films? Need that number. Apparently he's coming back in some show.
Yeah, they're going to have 20 seconds to answer this one.
Yeah. Okay. More time for us to opine about the CBS All Access app.
5,
where you can get
4,
Star Trek.
3, 2,
4.
1. Dave.
4?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Kevin.
4.
It is
Kevin
4.
Smets is on fire.
All right,
Kevin
8 to
Smets is on
5.
And I'm doing
8 to
decent.
5. Here's the next question here for category of Marvel films. Marvel. Who voices Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Both competitors writing down the answer with glee.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Studio audience here enjoying that question.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nick
Kevin.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes, it is.
Cage.
Dave Moore.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes,
It is.
9-6. Moore's keeping pace, but Smets
We don't
has
choose the
not
dance floor, we just
missed.
dance.
The thing is that
right.
David Moore's having a very good round number 1, and Smets kind of overshadowing him, and he can get a perfect round if he gets this next question right. To the field, this is from Mixed Bag. So it could be anything. Let's get drunk and find out. The question is, what 2000s film is set in the fictional Basin City and has characters by the name of Jackie Boy, Hardigan, Kevin, and Marv? I mean, there's a lot of movies with Kevin in them.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Smets is looking to get a perfect
Yeah.
round here. 5, 4,
It's like we practiced.
3, 2,
Max Payne.
1. Start with Dave.
Sin City?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And Kev.
Sin City.
Perfect round.
Perfect round right out of
Yippee for Kevin Smith.
Debuting
Oops.
here, his first debut, and he hits a
Now I
perfect
did it on
round. Now,
purpose.
can he get the bonus? We're going to find out. Kevin, you don't have to write this down. This is just for you. Here we go. Who played villain Aldrich Killian in 2013's Iron Man 3?
Guy Pearce.
1 point. Look at Kevin Smets. Wow. 4-point lead for Kevin to smash for Smets, and he's got himself
Most
a 4-point lead.
impressive.
David Moore is playing great. Kevin Smets is just playing phenomenally right now. So here we go.
This is an incredible debut performance, really, by both gentlemen.
Absolutely.
But like you said, Kevin's getting the headline because a perfect round number 1.
When you get 7 points normally in your debut, it's like, wow, incredible.
Yeah, you are front page news.
But now we get to round number 2, and how does that work?
Now, luckily, I'm here to tell
Thank
both
God.
competitors and you and everybody at home, Christian. Round number 2 is the wheel round, the wheel of fate, justice, and perhaps one competitor's doom. You get to spin at that wheel.
Or
If you take a
death.
Look at it, you got 10
Yeah, we were
categories.
talking
plus
about
spinners
murdering
and
people
opponent's
in
choice.
the
Each category
intros.
comes from a different corner of the movie trivia Schmoedown Innergeekdom galaxy. Each category contains 5 questions in that genre. Now, each question is worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes from 2 down to 1. I'll remind both competitors, stealing is available in round number 2.
We're gonna kill,
if one
so
of you
let's
misses,
steal,
the
too.
other competitor can steal that answer potentially, Christian. And friendly reminder, that wheel is a sponsored wheel. The entire wheel is sponsored by our old buddy, a loyal Schmoedown Patreon subscriber. Give it up for Reefton, everybody.
Reefton.
Reefton sponsoring the wheel.
Now that sounds like a superhero name.
Sponsored wheel slices are Harry Potter, your favorite movie series, and Star Wars.
Yeah, all right.
It's my favorite movie series. Thank you, Reefton. Because David had a great first round, but Kevin had an even better one, a perfect one, as a matter of fact. Kevin, it is your option. Would you like to spin first or defer to your opponent?
I'll defer.
All right, so Dave's going to go.
Yeah.
Dave's going to go first. Dave.
That might have been the nicest thing he said so far.
And please spin gently. It is an elderly wheel. It's an elderly wheel. That
There
is
you go. Perfect spin.
Well, that was a very nice, gentle
young
spin.
man.
I like this kid. Dave
He's an
more.
old man.
Give it a
He
spin
ain't
there.
got what it
as
takes
the wheel-
anymore.
Where's it going to go?
It's not going to be spinner's
It's
choice,
gonna
but it
hit
could be
Star
Star Wars.
MCU. MCU.
MCU.
You sticking with the MCU? He's going to stick with the MCU.
He's going to stick with the MCU. All right. David, your first of 5 questions. It's good to see you as always.
Good to see you too. It's nice.
Your first of 5 questions
Cozy up here.
in the world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What is the name of Scott Lang's estranged former wife in the Ant-Man film?
I don't know anything about the Ant-Man films.
5, 4.
Multiple choice.
I can do that for you. Is it A, Maggie, B, Laurie, C, Julie, or D, Denise?
B.
Julie?
That is incorrect for the steal, Kevin.
Maggie.
It is Maggie.
Kevin Smets.
Tough if he's stealing points, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't let the, apparently you can't miss anything against Smets, apparently.
So far, that has been the case. Your second question, back to you, David. In the film Doctor Strange, Mordo's relic are the vaulting boots of what?
Multiple choice.
No, I don't
Is it
know off
A,
the top of my head.
Agamotto, B, Sidorak, C, Apollon, or D, Valtor?
Valtor?
It is, in
Yeah.
fact, Valtor.
1 point.
Got that one.
He's fighting through. He's fighting through. Needs a sip of water to get his composure.
All right. Your next question. What is the name of the World Internet Hub that Tony travels to in Avengers Age of Ultron?
Five, four.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Net Central, B, Cortex, C, Fulcrum, or D, Nexus?
Fulcrum?
5, 4.
Fulcrum?
That is incorrect for another steal.
Nexus.
It is, in fact, Nexus.
The Nexus?
Skies.
That's Star Trek. He just wants to get to the Nexus.
All right, Kevin, back to, excuse me. David, back to you. You get 2 more questions, your penultimate one in the world of the MCU. At the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
Guardians
Ego
2.
and Meredith pull into the parking
Fast
lot
food restaurant.
of
Dairy
what
Queen.
fast
Dairy
food
Queen,
restaurant?
Dairy Queen. Jim Cornette loves Dairy Queen. Guardians 2 is great. I will fight
5,
anyone over that.
4.
Great
3.
film. I'm looking at you, Christian
Is it A,
Harloff,
McDonald's,
saying
B,
you
Burger
don't
King,
like that
C,
film.
Wendy's, or D, Dairy Queen?
Dairy Queen.
Give him a point.
Thank
for
you.
Dairy Queen.
Guardians 2 is great.
All right,
Great.
your last question, David. In the world of the MCU, currently trailed by 4. You can have that deficit if you get this one right off the bat. And that question is, in the film Black Panther, who played W'Kabi, confidant and best friend to T'Challa? Need the name of the actor.
I'm not forgetting his
Oh, I know
name.
Angela Bassett. That was the
Multiple
only
choice.
other person I
Is it
remembered.
A, Daniel Kaluuya,
Daniel Kaluuya.
B, Brian Tyree Henry, C, Sterling K. Brown, or D, Forrest Whitaker?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Give him a point,
1
and
point.
he trails by 3.
Yeah, well, he's got. I don't know what Kevin's weak at, but he's got to hope Kevin hits something weak.
We haven't seen a weakness yet, so Kevin, step on up there and give it a light spin, because it is a very frail old wheel that is about to go to Boca Vista to visit Sam Levine.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, with these new rookies. You don't know what they know and what they don't. We're learning their strengths.
Right,
and
I mean, he got a perfect round.
Right.
You don't know if there's something. I would be shocked at this point if he spun away from something.
Well, you don't know. What's he going to... Oh, maybe...
Could be movie release dates.
He wants it.
He likes
He
it.
wants the release dates.
He's saying,
Another movie release
Movie
dates
release
guy.
dates. All right, here you go. Kevin, you're going to get 5 questions in the realm of movie release dates. Here you go. Star Trek Into Darkness. It was released in what
2013.
year?
2013.
That's correct. The computer animated Ninja Turtles film called TMNT
2007.
was released in what year?
2007.
Wow. That's correct.
this guy is a computer animated version of a competitor.
The
What about me?
Rocketeer was released in what year?
91.
Oh my goodness, yes, that's correct.
It's 1991.
Samuel L.
Wrong.
Jackson first appeared on the big screen as Nick Fury in which year?
2008.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's correct. So it's now 21 to 10.
Wait, Kevin, how many films based on Marvel properties were released in 2003? 20 seconds to answer.
Christian, this could be for the match if he gets it right.
5.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, 5?
Spider-Man 2, I think, was 03. Daredevil.
5, 4.
JTE roll, please.
How many films based on Marvel properties were released in 2003?
2. I only think of those two.
And the I'm sorry, the choices one more time.
You know what they are. 2, 3, 4, 5.
C, 4, D, 5.
2.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
So, David, for the steal to stay alive and to get into round 3.
3.
That's correct.
Oh, he survives a round.
He has made it.
Avoided the TKO.
By the skin of his
He
teeth.
avoided the KO. He avoided the KO. Smets bleeds for just a minute. just a minute. And
He's mortal. He's a man.
He's a man, but he's got 10-point lead going in round 3.
He's immortal. He's a man, as you see. 18 of them.
All 3 of his round 3 questions right in order to stay in the game.
Yeah, and Christian, this is one of those scenarios where, regardless if David Moore is able to somehow pull off a miracle here, I think both David and Kevin, you'll learn something from a match like this. You'll learn when you were in a big hole, you learn how to protect a lead. Both competitors gaining knowledge right before our very eyes.
Yeah, and you see his manager Kaiser coming in there, giving him a couple of words.
Get off the stage!
Kaiser's gas station sunglasses.
I like him too. All right, so now we're going to get to round number 3, Mark.
I miss sunglasses. Where are the sunglasses in this match?
A series of numbers. Those numbers may range from 1 to 16. Each number corresponds to a different category of the movie Trivia Schmoedown Innergeekdom Galaxy. Your first question here is going to be worth 2 points. The next one's 3 points. The last one is worth 5 points. We're going to get Kevin's numbers first because you enjoy a 10-point advantage, and then we'll get David's numbers. And I'll keep in mind, David, you're going to have to hit all 3 to force Kevin's hand. Kevin, what numbers do you want?
6, 8, 7.
6, 8, and 7 for the Smasher.
That's not how you count.
I don't know. That's THX 1138.
11. You can't have 8, but 11-3.
Oh. Why can't THX it? 11-3-9.
11-3 and 9 it is. All right. So Dave has to get all 3 of these in order to stay in the game, or Kevin will win via TKO.
All right, David, you selected 11 for your first category, or as you would say, 1-1. And that corresponds to a familiar category for you. That's the world of the MCU. The MCU, and your question for 2 points to stay alive. Who plays the villainous Sonny Birch in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I don't care about these Ant-Man films. Go away.
4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Who plays the villainous Sonny Birch in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Second one.
Who plays the villainous Sonny Birch in
Repeat the
Ant-Man
question.
and
Let's
the
stop
Wasp?
for time.
Space.
Let's build the suspense.
Space
Repeat the
Odyssey.
question, please. Can I get it right with 10 more seconds?
3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one.
Who plays the villainous Sonny Birch in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
5, 4.
Sonny Bono.
That's it.
Come on, you should have went out with a joke.
The answer is Walton Goggins. Walton Goggins was the answer.
Kaiser coming out saying, who's going to be number 2?
Kaiser reminding them that they have a lot to do in the Innergeekdom League, and David Moore could not get that question early. He was going to have to pull off a miracle in round number 3, but what got them to this situation was the fact that Kevin throws a perfect round 1, gets a couple steals, has a very good near-perfect round number 2, and he looks like a pretty unbeatable force.
Kevin Smets just put the Innergeekdom League on notice because Kevin Smets only missed 1 multiple choice question, won by TKO in his first match. David Moore played very well. You can tell he struggles with actors' names. I think that
me too.
Actors' names, he's going to come back a stronger.
I'll just shake your hand, David Moore. We're like family.
Goggins a tough name,
but he missed a lot of questions about actors, and I think that's something he can improve on. He's a young kid. You can see him. You've seen what studying has done for players. He's got the fire in his eyes. You can see what studying has done for players like Ben Bateman, Ken Kalinowski, Mike Kalinowski.
Your most popular player. You goof.
Kevin the Smasher Smets is going to be a force here that I think that Mike Kalinowski should look out for, Rachel should look out for, because this kid is here to play.
That's right. You don't know if it was a great debut, if he's going to be able to carry that on, because we've seen competitors open up with an incredible first match, and then they do okay. Sometimes they do well. The future will tell us that story. Right now, to tell the story of the match, is our own Jen Sturger.
What's up, Movie
Hey, Jen.
fans? Jen Sturger here with Kevin, the Smasher Smets. Kevin, where did you come from? That was amazing.
Look, I didn't come here to talk to you. I came here to answer questions. So if you don't have any questions for me, I'm just going to take off.
I have a lot of questions. This is actually an interview.
How about I do the talking, Jen? Is that okay? Can I do that? That's what he brought me here to do. He answers questions correctly. I talk for Kevin Smets, okay? First thing I'd like to say, David Moore, you're a good kid. You got in our way. You had to go, okay? So All I want to know, Jen, is who's next.
Who's next? Well, I mean, maybe we start out
Hey,
small.
Goldberg?
We got plenty of great competitors. Jared Habon, Keaton Marchie.
How about Navarro? Why don't we bring Navarro out? Why don't we get somebody out there who can give this kid a challenge?
Christian, he's hilarious. You realize he's a former champion, right?
Let me tell you something. Christian Harloff should thank me and thank Kevin Smets for coming on this show. We probably got 50,000 new subscribers the minute we walked out here. But yes, we know who he is. We know who he is.
Okay. I mean, we haven't heard from Hector in a while, so I think we're going to have to...
We'll call his lawyer. He probably knows where he is.
Okay. So, congratulations on a perfect first round. He's a gem, Christian. Where'd you find him? Thanks, guys. I'm back with David. David, 7 points in any other first round would actually be a pretty good day, but unfortunately, you got hit by a bus out there.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. It wasn't. I mean, it was fun, but that wasn't fun. It was a whole lot of stuff that happened. I lost my train of thought because that was another train coming at me from another direction. And it was hi.
Hey, Jay.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Just here. Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. Jay Washington, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, fellow chocolate man. Yes. Hi.
That was really unnecessary.
But we are, and I embrace it.
You embracing my hand too much with this chocolateness. I wanted to say you played a great game while you still holding my goddamn hand.
Because I love you, Jay.
That is too much for this show. You played a great game. Welcome to the league.
Appreciate you.
Keep doing what you're doing and watch some movies, not just look at the intro cards. Thank you. But congratulations, kid. Seriously. Congratulations. Great first showing. Real talk. See you.
Yeah.
That was super kind.
All of that.
But
that was...
But for
But
real,
watch some
though,
movies.
David, people fell in love with you out there. You just came out with this
dance
charisma,
man.
this like fun attitude. It was like if Biggie Langston and Carlson had a baby. You know, everybody fell in love with you out there.
Take that.
It's a compliment, I promise.
I'll take it all day. Okay.
Well,
you know, I
hope that your loss today didn't deter you from coming back because we really enjoyed watching you play.
I appreciate that. It didn't. Like I look at this experience. And I relate it to another man who lost to a beast, T'Challa, to Killmonger. But guess what? He spoke to his ancestors, and he knew just what to do. And he came back and was victorious because good shall always triumph over evil.
You are all wrong.
Killmonger did. But like, I'm T'Challa.
Oh, good. You at least saw that movie.
T'Challa, man.
Thanks so much again for playing today, David. We hope to see you again soon.
I appreciate you.
Back to you guys.
Well, look at that. And you talk about Kevin Smets and Kaiser. They just called out the former champion, Hector Navarro. Woo. Now, whether or not Hector Navarro is going to take the challenge, we haven't heard from Hector in a little bit. Will he take on the challenge of Kevin Smets? We will see. And is Kevin calling up a little bit too soon to play someone like a Hector Navarro? Time will tell. We don't know if that match will happen. That's something that Emma has to also say. I don't know if I'm going to give you Hector yet, but the fact that he's calling someone out like that is incredible. And Dave Moore says, yes, get me back in there. I want to play.
Yeah, Kevin showing a lot of moxie, calling out some of the most hallowed competitors in the history of the Innergeekdom division. And you're right, David Moore. Look, you got to smile after a match like that. You made it through. You got through your first match. Now you have something to build off of. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. I look forward to seeing a lot more of him in the Innergeekdom division.
Look, Kevin Smets, after the awards show this year, I got an email from him that said, come this year, I will be Rookie of the Year. I will be Innergeekdom champion. I will be one of the best players of all time. I like the moxie there. It's a lot.
Nice to be modest.
It's a lot to say. It's a lot to say.
What's more shocking is he knows your email.
Now, you guys, thank you. There's so much going on. There's so
Someone
much
like
going
that
on
gives me an
in
email. I'll be like,
first place, I'm going to send
spam.
you to the Schmoedownlive.com. The free-for-all. 35 competitors, and they're all
not anymore. We found that out.
LA. You guys can be there to watch it all go down. Just buy tickets. Come check it out. Imagine the screaming, the yelling. Who's going to be the last person standing and get a shot at any title that they want? And then April 13th. Who's the Boss plays in a #1 contender match. Alex defends the Star Wars Championship. Get your tickets right now.
Chicago, Los Angeles, a lot of
Sweet
great
home,
a lot of great live
Chicago.
we have for you. Check out the Schmoedownlive.com or go to TriviaSD.com and check out the movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon today. That is Christian George Harloff. I am Mark Baby Carrots Ellison. We'll see you around soon on the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Thank you as I bump the counter. No, Stacy?
You, Ethan, Stacy, this is going to be a great thing. Stacy, listen, I am so glad to see you. I missed you so much. New York was amazing.
Oh, we missed you.
Listen, we were talking on the plane. And we got something great for you. Because we already got Ethan and Janine together. And
Yeah,
I got
Jay's
something
working on
else.
finding you right there.
What are you, Kalinowski thief? Where'd you learn to say that?
You know what, Jay? I know your game. Okay? No, I know every game that you're playing. All right? What's going on?
I'm not playing a game, Stacy.
So you know what? Congratulations to your success in New York, to the both of you. Where was I in that picture? I had to hear about it from everybody but you. I didn't get a phone call.
I did call you.
I did get it.
I called you.
I heard nothing from you. Okay? You know what? I'm the most underrated player in this game. Okay?
I know.
I've been putting my work in for years. And what have you given me? What belts do I have?
Well,
what matches have I won? What partner? What great partner have I had?
I got one coming. I got that.
We're working
That's
on
what
it.
I'm trying to tell you.
No. You know what? I don't need you guys anymore. I have a new family. I found a place.
What's happening?
What's up?
What is she talking about?
Who is she
talking to? Who's getting in her head?
Did that sound like what I think it might have sounded like?
This is the bathroom. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
What just happened?
Interesting. Stacey Howard joining up with Kalinowski? Didn't Kalinowski go on a rant about a year ago about how he hated factions? Wanted to destroy factions? And now he's forming a faction? I'm a little confused by this. Maybe this will be explained at a later date. Okay, Stacy with Mike and Chance and Ken could be interesting. It's not the in the head. It doesn't really fit, but we'll see how they make it work. That's That's pretty much all I can say. That was very confusing. So going to be interesting to see where that goes from here. And now it's Jay, Janine, and Ethan. Boy, that faction has changed a lot in the last year and a half. So we'll see what we got. Looks like we got some faction wars going on around here. So let's see where this all goes. So that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Good match overall. Kevin Smets brought it. He really played it very, very well. I might go back and look at some of the matches that he played now just to get a little more familiar with him. So yeah, Hector Navarro. I know they're building up the fact that it might be a mismatch to play Hector Navarro. The thing we have to remember is Hector Navarro has not won a match since the category expansion happened. Back when there was 8 categories and half of them were comic book categories, Hector was very good. Since they expanded the categories in the Innergeekdom, he's not played very well. So yeah, I hope he's started learning up very much so on those extra categories that he was never as strong in. Otherwise, we're going to get a loop play of what we just witnessed in this match. So, will the match happen? Probably, but probably not for the foreseeable future. David Moore, great to have you on. Your dad's still great. I might try to find some Nick Arcade on YouTube now. So, thanks, guys. It's all about nostalgia. So, yeah, that's going to do it for JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Always watch their content first. It's the right thing to do. Follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. I post all my reactions to that page. Follow the Schmoedown Twitter page at the Schmoedown. Follow the Schmoedown website, triviasd.com. Join the Facebook page. Join the Patreon page. All that great stuff. But until then, this is JTH. I will see you on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever I can get that video up. Whitney Seibel finally is in the singles division, and he will take on David Del Rio, not Alberto Del Rio. The wrestling mind is still just clouding all my visions of Schmoedown up. So, Whitney Seibel, let's get ready to root for the beauty for a big singles run this year, and it starts against Mr. David Del Rio. I'm acting like Chris Clark Light here, but just bear with me on that. So I'll see you for that match. So until then, this is JTH. Thank you for watching, and I bid you do-a-do.